Aloha everyone and welcome back to the CO2 Rundown. I'm your host Chad Owens. Happy Hump Day Wednesday. We are at the peak of the week, looking down. We can see Friday and we're building that momentum to just flow right on into the weekend. So look, sit back, relax today because we didn't have him on Monday. I got the sports guru, Tsai, joining us for an amazing interview. So look, let's dive on in to the CO2 Rundown. Thrice Would Be Nice by Jason Kaneshiro in today's Honolulu Star-Advertiser. What does that even mean? Well, Canadian Brooke Henderson is your 2018 and 2019 lot championship winner. The tourney wasn't held in 2020 due to the pandemic. So look, she's back here. She's here in Hawaii. She's trying to make it 3 in a row. And yeah, I got a little soft spot in the heart for Brooke Henderson being Canadian. I played in Canada for a number of years in Toronto, and you know, that country has a very special place in my heart. So yeah, I'm kind of pulling for Brooke Henderson for making it a 3-peat. Again, more details about that story by Jason Kaneshiro in today's Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Good luck, Brooke. Let's go. Aloha kakahiaka, Mr. Steven Tsai, my sports guru. How you doing, brother?
All right. How are you doing?
Great, man. Great. Again, thank you so much for joining us here in the CO2 Rundown. Always love having you. Missed you on Monday, but we got you today on Wednesday. So thanks so much for taking the time.
To be here on Hump Day.
Hump Day Wednesday, man. And look, I got to show you, I got to show the people, I started, I used to rock a little beard, and I went, I've been sort of clean shade for a while now, feeling that youthness, but I got a little scruff here. I'm just letting kind of go. We'll see how it goes. It might last a couple of days, but we'll see how it goes.
And you know what? Since you're now like a big time interview guy, you got to kind of like rub your beard every now and then. It makes you look like
so that's the
yeah, a little Fraser Crane. You look, it just brings it on to another level. There you go.
So Steven, you got to tell me, what do we have here on the local front? I know you got a couple stories out in today's Honolulu Star-Advertiser, so please enlighten us.
Well, today was signing day, and so for main sports and particularly basketball, they signed 3 guys. They got a transfer from Princeton, another transfer from a school called Longwood, a point guard they got from there, and they also got a high school guy from Wisconsin. So it's looks like they're on the road to kind of replenishing their roster. I know they lost a few guys, but you know what? It's not as bad as it seems, because last week it was announced that Samuta Avea, who took a year off because of COVID, he's coming back. Kahuku legend. He can jump, he can shoot. He's a terrific player. And also Bernardo da Silva, 6'9" guy with a 7'2" wingspan, which is pretty big. He's coming back also. He had a foot injury, so the foot's fine now. The wings are even better. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I think we, for the most part, man, our basketball program has been pretty good. Over the years, we've had some really good programs, some really good years. It's exciting, man. And but Savea, I mean, you can't blame him, right? With the COVID, it was a decision that he made. And look,
so he worked out in Utah.
Now he's back
to Utah, and I don't know how he got his name, but Samuta is a blend of his father's Samoan and his mom's from Utah, so that's how he got the name Samuta.
Wow.
Little college knowledge.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, look, we're happy for those guys, and we're looking forward to, a new year. Every new in colleges and in pros, there's always a new crop, right? There's always that new class coming in. Yeah. So no one team, Steven, is ever the same, right? No one team is ever the same. So the next year, there's guys coming in, there's guys leaving, and that's sports. Right. And talking about guys leaving the transfer portal.
Yeah. Well,
talk to us about that.
There's going to be a new rule coming out pretty soon, probably by the end of the month, where the NCAA is going to allow everybody who transfers, if you're an undergraduate, you can play immediately. The way it used to work is either you have to have a special circumstance, like maybe you had a health issue or something, or something's wrong, your family, you had to be there and everything. You were allowed to play right away. Or if you graduated, you had a degree, then you can go to another school and play right away. But now everyone gets one shot in their 5-year window playing. They can go to another school and they can play right away. And I'm not sure how you feel about it. The only reason I like it is because a lot of people don't know it, but scholarships are only 1-year contracts. I mean, you offer a scholarship, you think, okay, it's good for 4 or 5 years, and it is 99% of the time. But if you do something wrong, it's only a 1-year deal. They can kick you off, or so it seems like if it's held that way, it's more of a two-way street. Now you have the opportunity, if you're a player, if you don't like, if it's not a perfect fit for you, and it can be a lot of different reasons, but if it's not perfect for you, you get a chance to start over and not be punished for it by sitting out a year.
Yeah, I'm gonna always err on the side of the athlete, Stephen.
Yeah.
As athletes, sometimes we think the current situation is the best thing for us, and then a year in, a couple years in, you realize, man, this isn't the right fit for me, and you move on. But then there's times where maybe you're just on a team that's not winning, and you wanna go and win, or whatever, get more looks. And you go and then it ends up being not what you expected it to be. So it's sort of it's a tricky play there, and you really have to make a decision because you got one chance, right? You got one chance to do it. So you got to be smart and strategic about that, and make sure that it is going to work in your favor as an athlete. Now, on the flip side, I know I'm in favor of athletes, but on the flip side, I feel like that kind of hurts, the school. You're building a program, you're building a team based around certain players, you're recruiting guys. This guy's gonna end up filling this void for us, and he leaves, right? And you just it's gonna have more. It's gonna need more work on both the administrative side as well, coaching, recruiting, and all that, and making sure, hey, if you recruit this guy, he better be playing. Like, you got to put this guy in the game, because at the end of the day, these guys want to play. And I don't know how many. I'd say there's more. And I'm going to reference football here. And I'm a football guy. Sure. I think there's more football guys that are looking to play that 2-3 year max, and then I'm in the draft. These guys are having more of that mindset, as opposed to, man, I was in college for 5 years, Stephen. I redshirted, and then I played 4 years. But I didn't think about leaving early, because I just didn't think that was a thought. I didn't think that was a possibility. But that's it, man. These guys have a plan. These guys have a plan, and
I'm sure teams don't want to tell you could go early. But the other thing too is, you don't want to be that developmental team. You don't want to be like a mid-major school where you find the talent, you develop the talent, and all of a sudden, say Ohio State or somebody else says, hey, you know what? I want that player. I'm just going to, recruit, and you've already developed them for another. You don't want to be that school. Maybe it'd be kind of cool if you got some compensation if you're that school for losing a guy, but you just don't want to be the talent feeder for other people. On the same side, with the scholarship limits and everything, all these big schools, they can't keep all their talent. They can't keep it. You're not, again, a lot of people don't play, and it could have a trickle. It could turn around, and the mid majors might be able to pick up some of the power players, because there's no room for the power players on those teams.
Yeah. Now I got to ask you this, Stephen. Is there any rules with tampering? Other colleges, if they know that this transfer portal is available, and they go reaching out to a kid that's already on scholarship on another school, are they allowed to go and, hey, we want you to come play for us?
Well, there's an accusation a couple of years ago about some of the Hawaii players were being tampered with, and then Nick Rolovich kind of aired it out, and then it sort of became an issue and everything. But yeah, I'm sure there could be, and it's it doesn't have to be direct things. It could be someone calling someone's uncle, or calling someone's former teammate and saying, on coaching staff, or trying to reach out to people. And I can see that being a problem. But I think
but at the end of the day, Stephen, everyone's on Twitter. These high school kids are being taught to utilize Twitter. for their main recruiting tool. So what's stopping a recruiter from Ohio State DMing on Twitter a kid that's at, Michigan or
hmm
wherever, you know what I mean? Like, what's stopping them? Like, it's a DM, like, so
Eh,
those things, I'm
it,
sure it happens, and there's really no, way of finding out unless
well,
the
hey,
kid's like, hey, they reached out to me, they're posting, hey, such and such. So, uh,
I mean, people
yeah,
talk.
that's tough.
This is all LeBron James's fault because they put together that group in Miami, and all of a sudden, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and they're all together, and then all of a sudden, LeBron goes to LA, and Anthony Davis, there's all this talk like, and he wants out and everything. So I'm sure people talk and everything, but the main thing, and it kind of goes back to what you were saying. The main thing, you want to keep your players, you play the player, and you win. And players want to play and they want to win, and that's no fault of their own. I mean, you want to be on a good team, and you want to be and you want to play.
Yeah, and there's a shift happening, Stephen, and I think this is a trickle down from the professional level. Athletes are the one that's sort of in control. Athletes
Yeah.
have the power, right? The athletes are the entertainers, and at the collegiate level, there's so much money being made now, with the athlete likeness, using your name, image, and all that, getting paid. There's so much money in the collegiate level, especially at some of these big schools, that I think it's in, was it 2022, or athletes are going to be allowed to get paid through their likeness.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's
And I
talks
think
about
that's
that.
good.
I think it's really good.
I think it's good. The only thing I worry about is I like the equality sort of college sports, and it would be a shame because it's such a team sport, and a lot of different things, unless it's track and field or anything. But I don't like the idea of maybe if you get, say, a quarterback getting a certain amount of money because of his likeness and what he contributes, and then the backup kicker getting nothing, or even the backup quarterback. Difference between the starting quarterback and the backup quarterback. I think that could break a lot of team bonding. One guy's getting paid more than the other. Like, say, if a left tackle's getting paid more than a guard. I don't know.
Well, at the end of the day, this is prepping them for real life.
Mm-hmm.
We can't be afraid of that, Stephen. Like, real life, there's levels. People get paid more than others. In the professional ranks, when they become professional athletes, you got the LeBron Jameses, and you got the rookie that just came in making, minimal.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is. So yeah, they can come up with a fair model, but at the end of the day, if my jersey is selling more than
Mm-hmm.
everyone else, I should probably get paid a little bit more. Yeah, maybe they could create a profit sharing model where, hey, every athlete gets a percentage, on top of their scholarship checks or whatever, gets a percentage. But if you're a marquee guy that's being marketed, you're being, stuff is being sold, and on top of that, as an athlete, not even connected to the school, you are a brand. Imagine who's like just a super high profile college player. That. I'm just gonna say, okay, Johnny Manziel. He was a big time college like brand, right? Now, Johnny Manziel, yeah, maybe there's limited amounts of money that he can make from the school, but he's still getting paid. But he can make his own brand and get paid. He can leverage his name and what he's done on the field to get paid outside of that. Because right now you can't even use your likeness. You can't, so these guys, they work so hard. We work so hard to get to a certain level to be able to perform, to entertain, right? We're selling tickets. People are in the stands. And it's because of this particular player. So, I love the shift. I love where it's going, just as long as yeah, I mean, there's going to be boundaries, but the players need to start benefiting from the work that they put in and what they're doing on the field and on the courts. And this is women as well. This is all athletes.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, even in interviews, you interview a player and he says, "Well, I just had a zip pack from Zippy's." You can't say that. That's a violation. It's promoting a thing. And that's like, so you have to phrase it. I had this bento and list the certain things in it. Yeah, but you can't say the name. And yet other people, if you're a music major or you can talk about these things. You can do things. You can have a job outside of whatever your career, your studies are. You can't do that really in football or sports.
That's
because
not fair, man.
You're working out pretty much every day of the year, right? I mean, no, there's very few breaks. So I mean, I think.
But you can get, you know how much sponsorships, how much stuff you can get, Stephen, as a local guy, like in Hawaii. Just think about Colt Brennan. When he was here, and he was like a god, right? He was looked upon as a so imagine all the sponsorship deals he could have gotten while in college, and all the partnerships he could have had, because this is why, Stephen, this is why it's so important that athletes can be allowed to do this. There is no guarantees that a collegiate athlete is going to go on to be a professional athlete and get paid. Number one, there is no guarantees that this collegiate athlete is going to go on after college and get some grand job that's paying them so allow the athlete to build relationships, to build partnerships, to do collaborations, and to get paid while they're in college, because guess what? That road to being a pro isn't guaranteed. So at least they've already started building a foundation with a company, right? Building a relationship with a company or a brand or brands that will allow them to transition. That's what it comes down to.
It's kind of great that you mentioned Colt Brennan, because Colt Brennan made tons of money for UH. The demands for his autograph were so high after practices that sometimes he didn't even get breakfast. And the thing too is they had actually assigned a person to kind of be with Colt and take care and handle all the things surrounding the business of Colt. And so that person was getting paid, not very much, but getting paid, and Colt was getting nothing. So someone's getting paid to monitor someone who's not profiting himself. And I just thought, you got to equal that out a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. But look, man, we can go on and on and on about this topic. We will talk about it more. But yeah, Stephen, look, man, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on the CO2 Rundown on this Hump Day Wednesday. And I just gotta say something, man. Right now, Stephen, you got the light. You know what I'm saying? You're glistening right now. You're glowing. You got this glow about you today. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's the sun, but you just got this special glow today, man. So keep it up. It's you're over the hump. This is what I like to tell everyone on Hump Day Wednesday. You're over the hump. You got the momentum, and we're gonna flow right into the end of the week, and we're all excited for the weekend. So appreciate you so much for joining us, man.
All right, take care, and hopefully next week you can share how you make your special brand of coffee, because Chad Owens does not do anything simple. Everything takes a lot of planning and hard work.
Look. All right, I'll do that, Stephen. I'll put a video, a tutorial on the steps of exactly what CO2 does for his morning brew. Special for you, Stephen. I'll have that ready for our interview on Monday.
All right, take care. Thanks.
All right, Steve. Thanks, man.
Bye.
Right on, Stephen. Thank you so much for joining us here on the CO2 Rundown. Love having you on, brother. I know we missed you on Monday, but thanks for taking the time on this Hump Day Wednesday to join us and to share with us that insight. That was an amazing interview. So thank you so much. A lot of information and a lot of things for our viewers here. And speaking of viewers, guys, that is it for today's show. But I want to remind you that we have our Running It Back podcast going. It's been amazing. We've had Shane Victorino. You saw the one with us, myself, Kiana, and Ryan, getting to know us a little bit more and what Running It Back is all about. And this week, we have Brandon Curry. So make sure you guys are checking out KKAI 50 and check your local listings for time. It's happening tonight, 8 p.m. Okay, so check that out. Running It Back podcast with your boy, Kiana Kiabia, Brian Kiamaka, and our special guest, Mr. Olympia himself, Brandon Curry. So look, thank you guys so much for all the support, all the love. We're over that hump. And I'll see you all on Aloha Friday.